Hi, everyone, and welcome back to today's episode. So, I'm really excited to introduce my guest, who is a true ServiceNow expert. Now, he's got a proven track record in optimizing processes and driving digital transformation. Now, from automating workflows to advising C-level executive, he has led global initiatives that align technology with business goals. So I'm very excited. So please stay tuned for insights on how innovation powers success in the digital age. So thank you so much, Diego, for joining me today.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm a fan of your Spotify channel, and yeah, I listen almost everything in the episodes, and yeah, I'm very happy to be here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm blushing now. That's amazing to hear. So thank you so much. That's really kind of you. So look, I know that our listeners, would be really excited to hear, your journey, your story, So would you mind just sharing with us, like, how you first got introduced to ServiceNow and how you've achieved such great success reaching your current position?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Well, now I have 20 plus years experience in IT world. My background came from infrastructure, then come to software development. My first connection with ServiceNow was actually we call it as a customer. So I was managing a IT department, the IT services and operations for a retail company. We had operations in Brazil, and we are at that time we were looking for in some way change the way we operate and the platform that we use at the time. And I discovered ServiceNow. I attended to some events that was presented, and I was totally amazed of the capabilities that the platform had, and mainly the huge differentiation that the platform offers in terms of experience, the easy to configure, and a lot of possibilities that we could have in hands. And yeah, that was the first connection. Then we go for a project for implement the platform, and honestly, I was like challenged to discover the platform, the capabilities. I go for courses, I go for the now learning thing, and each time I've discovered something new, just say to myself, "Wow, this is amazing. This has a lot of potential," and I just started the learning journey. Then I moved to consultancy side and implemented to a lot of different customers and projects. Then just go wider overseas, and yeah, but I still have this connection with the capabilities and the potential. And each new release, there are new things coming. You need to stay up to date or try to because it's so difficult. And yeah, but the main point is I see the potential of the platform, and the business needs this to transform actually how it operates, the experience for customers, for internal projects. Yeah, a lot of things, but it started on that point.
Yeah, that's amazing. And obviously you are in Brazil. So for anybody that lives in Brazil that is thinking about, oh, should I start my career in service now? Do you recommend it? Like, do you think there's enough jobs? Do you think there's enough demand for service now in Brazil or Latin America?
Yeah, totally. We will started a boot camp in ServiceNow in 2020, and at that time we have that approach. Okay, this is a new wave of technology coming. It's actually consolidated as a platform, but the new things that will come in future, it's a way for professionals. And at that time, we make a very high level study of how is the market, not only for Brazil, for global market for ServiceNow. And at that time, 2020, during the pandemic, uh, I don't know, maybe 2,000, 3,000 job positions around the world just looking for ServiceNow professionals. And then in 5 years now, this have exploded. So there are more companies requiring ServiceNow experience, requiring ServiceNow professionals. There is a lack of uh, professionals in the market. In main markets, it's more evident this. So yeah, for sure, if you are a young professional, or even if you are looking for a transition into technology side, I will recommend ServiceNow career for sure. I have a case I like a lot. This case, there is a girl. She was dental hygienist, and yeah, like a consolidated career on that side. But yeah, she was looking to transition to technology because yeah, everyone is talking about technology market, the future, and she joined one of our boot camps. And yeah, now she has uh, different certifications, project experience, and the career just go to this path. And I feel very proud to see and to mentor people that are is yeah joining the technology market. And ServiceNow has this uh, easy way to learn and to start, and business actually needs fresh starters to start developing, configuring the platform, and then if you go deeper, for sure there are more opportunities on that side.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And for any companies that, for example, want to set up delivery centers in Brazil, is there a lot of talent, for ServiceNow skills?
Yeah, the market is huge. Brazil is yeah an enormous country. We have a lot of people, and actually people looking for new opportunities, and the business needs this transformation. So we have a lot of opportunities in the company side to run projects, to digitize workflows, to make some new experience for customers, building new business actually, and you have people looking for creating like a delivery center, for example, and yeah, young professionals could just starting to learn from a zero base on technology side, just discovering the platform capabilities and establishing into these new requirements. And yeah, there is a lot of opportunities on that.
Oh, amazing. That's wonderful. So perfect. And just going back to your own personal career history. So you moved abroad as well to Europe. So do you feel that ServiceNow kind of opened those doors that allowed you to kind of experience the world and see other parts of the world?
Yeah, I have a global career. Actually, I'm from Colombia, and I moved in the beginning of my career to different countries. So here in Latin America, I lived and worked in Argentina, that is a potential market. Then moved to Brazil, that because the language barriers, it's not easily to move, but yeah, and I built my career mainly in Brazil, but working with global projects. And for example, working with Microsoft technologies and SAP, you have global projects, you have positions everywhere. But when I joined the ServiceNow ecosystem, I realized that this is different because it's quite a niche market, so very specialized in the platform, but it's required globally. And ServiceNow has this new wave to go to market strategy. So there are new opportunities in Europe. It's growing in Asia. It's growing in the Middle East. So in Latin America, there is also a huge space to grow. So for being specialized, there are new doors that they are now open, and yeah, now we have remote work, we have some opportunities in place. For sure, the challenge for example, know the local language could be a barrier in some cases. You have the culture challenges to just be an immigrant in a new country. But professionally, yeah, there is open space everywhere you look.
Yeah, sounds incredible. That's really good. And in terms of, say if somebody is new to the ServiceNow market, and like, are there any particular certifications that you would encourage that you should get to make yourself successful?
Yeah, ServiceNow has evolved a lot. The now actually changed to learning platform. You go to learning.servicenow.com, and you have different paths that you can just follow. So ServiceNow make this easy to just jump in. You have the Welcome to ServiceNow certification. There is the first step for everyone joining the ecosystem and understanding what is ServiceNow, what are the main capabilities of the platform, how it works. And then you go, for example, there is a learning path for a business process analyst. Yeah, because yeah, maybe I'm not the technical one and I need to understand better on how to use this or use cases or to manage projects. There is also another path for project management, actually, to hey, this is my core, let's say, key skills, and look for some courses on implementation path, documentation, and yeah. And for sure, if you are more on the technology side and you lack these development skills, there is the path for a system administrator, application developer, and you have a lot of specializations each workflow actually you have. And yeah, and the pinnacle to look for example, the master architect. Now you have new certification path for architecture skills. And yeah, ServiceNow is always thinking and evolving on that side. But for starters, I just go to the ServiceNow, welcome to ServiceNow certification, and then start a path for learning there.
Yeah, sounds amazing. So yeah, wonderful. And like just kind of like talking about yourself for a moment. Like obviously you've gone into a very sort of senior position, with your current company. So your career has always kind of been going up, up, up. And can you like share with us like your mindset in terms of your attitude that's been so important to you, that's helped you kind of reach to the level that you are at right now?
Okay, okay. Well, in some point of my career, I will think around the 10-year space, something around that. Actually, I feel like stuck in a position. Yeah, I have this knowledge, this experience, and probably I will do this the rest of my life. But then we change this mindset is more to there is a lot of things that I don't know and I don't understand. Let me just take this piece, for example, try to understand, try to, yeah, how it works. For example, starting with a Scrum Master and the agile processes and how to do that, how to implement this to my team, and then go for course and then go for a certification as a professional Scrum Master. It's not about my position, but it's about a piece of knowledge that I just want to understand. And then it goes to ServiceNow in the same way. And then I am just digging more knowledge, more capabilities, more frameworks, trying to make my work on my team's work uh, better or easy, or to resolve some issue that we have. And discovering knowledge, it's the I think the driver for me. Yeah. So I know that there is a lot of people better in service now, in architecture skills, in selling skills than me. But yeah, I'm trying to just learning, always learning. And ServiceNow has this, yeah, each 6 months you need to go for new knowledge, new capabilities, renew your certification because, yeah, so I like this challenge, continual challenge for going for new knowledge.
Yeah, do you know, I love that because what it's giving you confidence. If you've got the knowledge and you've got the understanding, it automatically gives you confidence, and I love that, and also it keeps it interesting, right? So you're not sort of like just doing the same thing constantly, and it's like evolving, so I think that's amazing. I think that's fantastic. Obviously I'm always sort of in awe of people who English is not their first language. So, the fact that you have to do all of this in English as well. So, yeah, is it predominantly in English, like all the learnings, or do they have, does ServiceNow, have different languages?
Yeah, for sure, English is the predominant language because, yeah, all the courses you have first in English. There are some versions in other language that ServiceNow just have created and there is available. For example, in Japanese, you have some courses in Spanish, but almost everything is in English. Yeah, there's a vast majority of that. And the market also, if you go globally, you have a local language for, yeah, customer facing, story writing. For sure, you will find this local language. For example, here in Brazil, everything is in Portuguese. If you go to Latin America, everything is mostly in Spanish, but the documentation, the courses requires English. And actually, just to comment, I was confident about talking and expressing myself in English, but my first months in the Netherlands, I received the feedback, hey, your English is not quite good, it's difficult to understand. I say, okay, but the experience, and when you face the challenge, you say, hey, okay, let's do this. And I need practice and I need to be more confident, gain more vocabulary. And yeah, I know that, yeah, I have an accent, I have some misunderstanding and sometimes, but that situation to just challenge the situation, challenge yourself, trying to do that. There is some point that, yeah, you actually overcome the challenge and you realize that you are doing it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I think your English is amazing. So don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. So, yeah, it's incredible. How many languages do you speak then?
Well, my mother language, my natural language is Spanish.
Yeah.
I lived in Brazil, so I learned Portuguese, and the first year was very difficult because I was managing people, and the people just didn't understand me, and so yeah, the first weeks, let's say, And then yeah, working globally, I learned English, but it's more like technical English during the project, and yeah, it's a specific vocabulary, and move it abroad. I realized, wow, there is a more languages and more different people speaking different languages. I learned a bit of Dutch, like a casual
Wow.
conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, the domain is that. And actually, my family and my kids, they are passionate. Just to comment here, on the weekends, we have some free time on the TV. We like to watch YouTube channels. This is came from my oldest girl, my daughter. That there are people talking in different languages the same kind of word and trying to make them understand between them.
Oh.
And we learned about the misunderstandings and the difficulty to say something in Korean. And yeah, you know it. And yeah, maybe this is part of my family activities, but I like this discovering new languages, new culture. And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously, like where you said you moved to the Netherlands, and obviously it's like Dutch, speaking, although English is very much, spoken there as well. Like, I suppose, especially having like that feedback about, oh, like your English needs to be improved. Like you need to be quite resilient, right? As in terms of just being able to take that kind of feedback, because it could be quite hurtful because it's very personal. Like how have you built that resilience, and how do you sort of come back and think to yourself, actually, I'm going to better myself, or I'm not going to let that be negative talk to me?
Yeah, actually, I have a personal belief on the power of feedback. Uh, Feedback, I always understand this is like a gift, right? And this very personal understanding on that, because if someone has courage or confidence to share some feedback, hey, you need to improve this, or hey, I'm not understanding you, I'm not liking this, could be a behavior, could be an attitude, could be, yeah, the way that you make do something, yeah, and the feedback, it's important because you are expressing something uh, normally in terms of, hey, maybe we can do this better together, yeah. In some way, it's not depend of me, it's depend of you and the person that receives the feedback. And when you receive some feedback, any kind of positive, negative, or something to improve, yeah, the thing is what to do with that. Is that like criticisms? This there is something that I can actually improve or make better, and the way you receive and the way you process, yeah, could be oh, I got some like I don't like to hear that about that, but then when you process, hey, there is something that I can do better, yeah, okay, let's work on that, yeah. And especially if the feedback is from more sources, different sources, yeah, you understand, okay, maybe I have something to learn, to improve, to do better, to do different. And for relationships, teamwork, even in at home, if you listen feedback from your husband, your wife, your kids, maybe there are some important they are saying, and maybe you can just thinking on that, and yeah, just overcoming on the something to improve, okay.
Yeah, I love that. That's really good. And just talking about sort of feedback, obviously, have you had anyone in your career who's been a mentor that has given you feedback throughout your career? Yeah, could you share with us maybe some stories or just something about them that made them so special and helped you.
Okay, yeah. If I can just play back on my mind, I have the opportunity, and yeah, this like a bless to have so many people that have mentored me. Just to start, for example, the first one is called Luz Jenny. I don't know if she will listen here, but she was my very first manager. We worked together during 3 years. It was starting my career. I was a young guy starting the university, and during the night working on a data center. And at that time, the first feedback was, "Hey, you came with this full bust shirt to work. Hey, you need to have some different present." Yeah, and for me, yeah, I just came at night, taking care of some cables, make some, yeah, working, but I didn't realize the corporate world. And then she mentored me, not just not like on that side, but actually make me to realize how it works, the corporate world, relationships, posture, and yeah, and I was guided for her, and in yes, last like the first year, then I moved and I grown on my career because yeah, I understand and I learn from someone that is open to guide me. And then during the career, yeah, I had the chance to work with very, very experienced people, high skilled people. I have some mentors, for example, that now three of them actually, my direct managers, were like awarded as CIO of the year here in Brazil. And I realized that, hey, I worked with him and I learned a lot from him. So I have different examples on that side. And in the service I work, yeah, I have on my heart Mona, Marco Monaster. He was my first manager in ServiceNow consultancy side. He's part of the company that I am working on. And he just is not like teaching me or guide me, but more listening me and having the opportunity, hey, think on a solution on that. Or think a bit, give me a solution, and we will discuss together. And create this space to, hey, I need to go investigate, study, thinking, build something, and then expressing, and we just discuss it together. And I learned a lot of that, and mainly also the customer relationship. So, how to talk to CIO, how to present, because normally I'm more technical person, and I go to the very detailed things, and the conversation for a CIO, for example, yeah, you need to more direct, more, let's say, a value side, business side than the technical. Hey, how it works maybe it doesn't matter, or is not as important that the value that will come with a solution. So on that side, I have this, and yeah, there's a lot of people during my career, and I feel very grateful to receive their feedback, learnings, opportunities, challenge, and I think to identify a mentor could be on your company or outside your company. Now we have LinkedIn, we have this kind of channels that we just can connect to someone. And I have my LinkedIn open for anyone in the world who, hey, can I have you for 5 minutes, for 15 minutes, some advice? It's open. I have a friend for from France actually. She was a start or a junior ServiceNow developer, and we connected during a year for I don't know 6 8 times during the year, and just to discuss things, how to do this, where to go, and I feel very proud of see people growing on their careers, on their understanding, clearing new paths for learning, and I feel happy. And I think this is something that I can just give back because I receive it so much from my mentors that it's important to just sharing everything that I have that could be shared, and I open for this.
Oh, I love that. I love that you got your LinkedIn open. That's like, wow, that's amazing. So, literally, like anyone in the world could ask you a question and you'd happy to respond, like when the time is right.
Yeah, it's open. You
Wow.
have it, on my profile. I just created a link. Book some time with me,
Oh, wow.
and there are some people that just ask me, but I think that in some cases I don't know, the people feels I don't know if there is some embarrassed to ask or not confident. Hey, but in some cases they work it, and I make new connections in different countries. That yeah, we discuss it, and then we go, hey, it's a good path. For example, for career advice or for ServiceNow solutions on how did you build this thing. And I like it because normally on this exchange, this conversation, I also learn and I also discover new things that, yeah, I didn't realize about that. There is something new. There is something specific to that market on that the person lives or works. And for me, it's good to discover new things.
Yeah, amazing. And that's really interesting actually, like discovering new things because ServiceNow, it's so rapidly evolving, right? There's new features, so how would you recommend someone to kind of keep up to date? What's like, is there any sources that you recommend? Like, what do you think? And how do you yourself keep up to date?
Okay. This is very challenging, and it gains more challenging during the last 3 years, I will say, because the platform goes so wider in capabilities. So, for example, now you have of obviously the IA thing to study to understand generic AI. Now you have the agentic AI, how to build an autonomous agent. This is totally new, and nobody in the world knows about that 1 year ago. So now everyone working in ServiceNow is looking for that piece of knowledge. But at the same time, you have service to pay workflows. Then you have retails workflows. Then you have specialization on industry, new workflows. Now, this year, ServiceNow is entering in CRM space, and the message from the sales kickoff was very clear. We are in CRM. We are entering in the market with the foot in the door, right? And so, yeah, understanding how it works in ServiceNow, the workflows, the omni-channel thing, the engagement message, you have discovered new capabilities. And then you have on the creator workflows, more things. So, yeah, it's very wider on knowledge that the best thing is to pick one or two like workflows or lines and specialize on that part. On the platform capabilities, I will say that it's important, for example, to understand the foundations, the data structure, the architecture part of the platform, workflow, where do I create something, for example, like a playbook, like a flow. This piece of foundations of the platform, it's the first step, and then keep up to date with the courses that ServiceNow deliver in learning.servicenow.com. So the learning platform is the place to go.
Right.
And on the daily basis, I always recommend go to the official documentation site. The community has a lot of information. If you participate on the community, you just put a question. There are in some minutes some specialized colleague will just answer your question, or there's more links, more questions. So yeah, I think, to just summarize, the three places to go: the learning platform, learning.servicenow.com, the documentation, because it's very clear and tailored on how it works, and the community. Yeah, communities.servicenow.com also, the place that we as ecosystem just share knowledge and yeah, help each other.
No, that's amazing. You mentioned as well, like specialize, in a certain lines, to workflows. Like, do you have any recommendations, particularly in Brazil? If somebody's not sure, like where should I specialize? Do you recommend, or what do you think?
Okay, yeah, you can have two different paths or answers for that. If you are joining the ecosystem like a beginner in ServiceNow, I want to start a career, probably the most common workflows could be the safe place to go. So I understanding the platform and studying about CSM and ITSM could be the first step. Okay, and it's being specialized on that, because there are more demand and there are more opportunities on that at this moment. But if you are already working with ServiceNow, you could feel stuck, because yeah, I understand ITSM and I repeat the same in different projects. So going for the new capabilities, I think it's the good path. Thinking on different workflows, the market is going on more like transitional for industries. So, for example, if you like to work in some specific industry like healthcare or retail, it could be great to specialize on that side of the platform, right? If you feel connected with a specific industry, if you feel more connected on like something more generic, project management or something like customer service, you will find a path on that side. So my recommendation normally is, if you are already a ServiceNow specialist or you have specialization in one workflow, pick another that you feel connected with, because the market is growing so everywhere. Yeah, we have new opportunities in for HR, we have new opportunities for legal services, we have new opportunities on sourcing, payments. So yeah, so just pick something that you feel connected and it's your understanding better, right? Very personal.
I love that. I love that. It's pick something you feel connected with, because yeah, definitely, because otherwise, if you're not connected with it, you're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to do your best. And when you feel a connection, it's like it doesn't even feel like working, you just love it so much. So yeah, I love that. I love that advice. So look, my final question, okay? So Diego, if you could go back in a time machine and talk to your 21-year-old self, like what advice would you give him?
Oh, first, invest in ServiceNow stocks
Yeah,
because they will grow.
I think we all would give ourselves that advice. Yeah.
That could be the just go to myself. Hey, invest in ServiceNow stocks. Do that,
Yeah.
or Nvidia stocks because yeah, because of the AI. Okay, but on career, I think, yeah, now I feel confident about that, but I think that maybe make myself to establish a study routine more wider or more connected to the technologies that at that point could be better, because now I am in the service now a wave and learning about that, but I think for me, I needed like 10, 15 years of my career to understand, hey, I need to specialize in something. So if I was specialized in something and less generalist on knowledge, uh, could be different. So I would recommend myself to, just pick one technology, something that is just very hot on that moment. Go with everything your time. Try to be more patient about that and learn. Uh, that could be my advice to myself.
That's amazing advice. So, look, I just want to say a huge thank you for coming on today. There's been some fantastic advice, and anyone who's living in Brazil and wants to get into ServiceNow, Diego's LinkedIn door is always open. So, please reach out to him. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and being a fabulous guest.
Okay, thank you so much, and I enjoyed this. This was very quickly, so yeah, I feel very grateful for having me, and you deserve all the success that you are having, Farah.
Oh, thank
And
you.
yeah, thank you for connecting our community in service now. Yeah,
Oh,
I
thank you so
appreciate your
much.
efforts on that.
Thank you.